get to be a part of the team that's hosting and sharing tonight. And I'm so pumped to see so many faces. And so we're still right at that 5:30 mark. So send a message. I see friends, I see new friends, I see people I haven't met yet. And I feed off of your energy too. So take this time right now and send a quick message. Hey, are you on? Are you jumping on with me? If you're already sharing the conversation, message your community and say, hey, where are you? If you have somebody that's supposed to be on here with you, reach out to them too and say, hey, did you make it on? And just pop that link into there. This is a special magic Zoom link. There's no password, there's no waiting room, and we don't know why. We're just thankful for it, right? Because Zoom is quickly become the normal, and it's just funny. So in the chat, I would love to see two things. Two things. The first thing is, what are you drinking right now? If you've got your shaker cup, I've got my aluminum here because I'm kind of a woo-woo guru right now, occasionally with some things. So what are you drinking? What flavors in your cup? What you got going on? And then also, where are you coming in from? Where are you watching? Would love to see where in the world we're at. We got Louisiana. We got an Arizona. We got a electrolytes. Well, that's an interesting place to live. Just kidding. We got New York. There's Nikita. Nikita and I have known each other for 3 years and haven't seen each other in so long. And we got to hug last weekend. So that was really fun. Oklahoma, Pacific Northwest. What up? I know we got New Hampshire in the house for sure. And there's a Florida. I see Miss Florida down there. She's normally in New Hampshire, but now she's down in Florida. And so let me just bump her up. And I'm so jacked to be here, y'all. This is our weekly Wednesday night Maximize Your Ketones call. And there's Canadians in the house. Cool. How many Canadians do we have here? I love this. You got a Henderson, Nevada with a complicated name, Long Island. Anybody international? Anybody outside of Canada? We got Mexico in here. I saw it earlier. I love it. I love it. But this is our weekly call. And this is our time to come together as a community and say, hey, we're drinking ketones, we're talking ketones, and we just really want to plug in and share with all of the goodness that comes with this community and with this product. So just a little bit about myself. I am a born and raised Las Vegas native. That means I've seen the city reinvent itself a whole bunch of times. And now each of you have a friend in Vegas. So when you come, I'll pick you up from the airport. We'll do a tour. We'll have tons of fun because that's something that I absolutely love to do. The city's opening back up. Wash your hands. Don't lick doorknobs, etc., etc. Social distancing, whatever. But being born and raised here, it's always around a hustle. There was always somebody hustling. And I was one of those kids that was growing up that was like, I don't think I need to go to college, even though I ended up going, because I could just go deal cards. I could just go park cars. I watched my dad have a 6-figure annual income from being a waiter at a resort and here on the Strip. And so I always had a different way of thinking. And that was just constantly exposed to me in this type of industry as well. Yes, Stasha, come. And and so just with that in mind, it taught me to be open to when things come across your table, right? When things get mailed to you, when a friend says, hey, here's this, you might like this, you might not, I don't know, like just you want to give it a test drive type thing. So I was always around like the new, now, next, always around what's coming around the door. And with my family and I, we've been in health and nutrition since I was 16. So I had a little bit of experience with that. Before that, we were in telecommunication, and my dad sold soap out of the trunk. My mom sold skincare out of her trunk. And we were just trunk dealers constantly. And this was before trunk or treats were a popular thing. And so this little pack crossed my path in 2017. So it's about 3.5 years ago right now, coming up on 4, which isn't crazy, September 2017. And I didn't even realize it actually had crossed my path about 1.5 years before and 3 times in between. But I wasn't open yet. I didn't get to meet you, right? It wasn't you sharing it with me. There was other people that were just trying to get me to drink it, right? And I finally said yes. And the day that I said yes, I'll never forget. It was a Tuesday after Labor Day, and I drank my very first pack pseudo reluctantly because I was super skeptical because I had no idea. I love it how our friend Rutherford, Michael Rutherford says like, I didn't know the difference between a ketone and a keystone, right? Like I had no idea what ketosis was. I wasn't cool. I was into the plant juice and the berries and the anti-inflammatories and the rubbing the oils on everything, which I still do. I still have all of that. Like, oh, frankincense, let me put this on my face. And so I ripped open this pack. My friend actually mixed it for me in my kitchen, and I drank it, and I felt so whole again. I felt amazing, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why. I just knew that I wanted more, right? And drop a number 1 in the chat if you had what we call a first dose experience. Were you one of those people that when you drank it, you were like, holy crud, like what do I have my hands on? And your friend's like, I don't know, but here's this video, watch it, right? It's so simple, so simple. I knew I had to have more. I love it. Look at all those ones in there. Keep dropping those ones. And if you weren't one of those people, that's okay. I know that there's my own parents, we all had different experiences as we were going on. But fast forward through my first year, I was able to release 80 pounds that I wasn't planning to. I was holding on to it. It was a comfort zone for me. And I was just sad. I laid in bed. My energy went through the roof every single day, just a pack a day. And pack a day my first 6 months. And then I was like, wait a second, I got to try this some more. And so I started drinking 2 a day. And if you've had a fat loss experience, like drop that in the chat too. Like from where you started to your lowest weight, or what's that number? Drop it in there, because we know that fat loss is one of the coolest side effects of drinking ketones, but not the only benefit. I know that I love drinking these because of the way that I feel each and every day. And my body is working through a bunch of other things too. And I'm just blessed and humbled that I get to do life in what I call my meat sack and just working with it. Look at those numbers, y'all. Look at that. And some of y'all have done it on accident. Like my first 6 months with the 45 pounds I was able to release, like my cravings changed. What I wanted to do was different. And that all started with just a pack a day on kind of on accident. Going from a 46 waist, which is, men's measurements. I have no idea what that is in a women's. It's probably like a 28 or something like that. I don't know. I've never worn women's jeans. They're not cut for me, the extra bits and all. But just we're going from a 46 to a 36, going from a 2X shirt to a medium to a large, like a comfy and a large. It's been really transformative. So we're here to talk to you tonight about maximizing your ketones. And I have my best friend, my I guess you could call her like my hetero life partner. Like we just get to do life together. Rebecca Schweitzer is Coach Rebecca to the community. And I'm gonna let her tell her story here in just a second, but we're gonna talk about ketones. We're gonna talk about what they do, how they work, just some simple hacks. And I know we've got some great fat loss stories that have back boobs are gone. Oh, Angelica, you are my hero right now. And we're going to just share a little bit about a few different products we have to support our journey. And we're going to hear a few other stories as well. And then we're going to talk about what free ketones look like, because I don't know about you, but growing up in Las Vegas and being exposed to hustles and getting coupons, like I still get excited when I get Carl's Jr. or Hardee's coupons in the mail, because I like getting those buy one, get one free protein wrapped cheeseburgers, because they're phenomenal. But that's kind of where we're going to go. And just have a lot of fun with it. So I feed off of your energy too. Like I enjoy seeing faces. We have 3 whole pages of faces here, and I'm so glad to see that. And use that chat. And if there's ever a question that you have, drop it in the chat, because there's a lot of experience. Now, before we go, in the chat, how long have you been drinking ketones? And if you've never drank them, say that as well. Let us know down here. How long have you been drinking? I'm 3.5 years. We got 3 weeks. We got 6 months since November. That's math. I'm only half Asian, guys. 3 weeks, 6 months, 5 months, 2 weeks, years. Chris, never. Cool. Well, a lot of this information's for you. Rianne, never. Rianne. Caitlin, never. I love the nevers. Love the no. Go Penguins, never. She yelled it, or he yelled it. I can't see you. It was all in caps. That's how I read it. Sarah's starting now. Fantastic. Sarah Ramos, 4.5 years. I remember when I met Sarah Ramos. Fantastic. But What are these? And we've already kind of talked about it, but inside this little pack is here's a little nerd moment for you. It's called beta hydroxybutyrate, right? And that's something that, here's some more nerd for you. Do I have fully permission to nerd out with you? Drop a number 1 in the chat, because I'm only going to do this with permission. Do I have permission to do a little bit of nerd talk? Cool. Thank you for that. Drinking this is the same thing that your liver makes when you eat a strict ketogenic diet. Now, I know Coach Rebecca, actually, this is where I'm going to let her pop off. She's a professional bodybuilder and what's it called? Bodybuilder, yeah. And she's done show prep, and I've seen her on stage, and she's done fantastic. And I know the last part of her show prep, she was in a strict keto diet. And let me tell you, through grace and Jesus was I able to maintain a friendship through all of that. But Coachy, like, just hop off real quick and just share a little bit about just like what this product has done for you, and for the whole class to hear. So what up, girl?
Oh, hey, hi, hello, how are we? I love seeing so many faces on here tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us here. Isn't Carrie great? Show him some love in that chat. He just fires me up every single time I get to talk to him. Like, he just brings all the energy for my life. So hopefully he's bringing energy for you tonight. And so he's not wrong. Like, I used to be a psycho about diet and exercise. My story goes like this. I was 230 pounds. I studied nutrition and fitness, and I got certified as a personal trainer and sports nutritionist. And through my journey, I became obsessed with dieting. And so, yes, I professionally bodybuild. I love it. However, it was so hard to get to stage physique. And in order to do that, you had to literally track and log and weigh and measure every single thing you put into your body. And that's miserable in itself. And then the last couple weeks of show prep, you had to put yourself into a strict keto diet to get into ketosis. And that meant you couldn't even look at a donut, you couldn't sniff a donut, you couldn't nothing, because that would kick you out of ketosis. And so, yes, I am blessed with friends and family who love me enough to stick around through better and through show prep, goodness and health, and better at show prep. And so when these little packets were introduced to me, because I had a background in fitness and nutrition, I was like, there's no way. Right? There's no way those put you into ketosis. There's no way those do what you say they're going to do. And I drank a packet of these in February of 2018. Carrie flew across the country and shared it with me because he cared enough, poured it into a shaker cup, shook it up, and I drank it. And I felt better, but I still didn't believe it, right? Like, I still didn't believe it. If you're a skeptic, drop a 1 in the chat. Like, I'm a skeptic. I need to like actually know the things. And good. I love skeptics. They become our biggest raving fans. So, so I was a total skeptic, and I had to watch Carrie's journey for a year before I said yes to drinking ketones every single day. And then once I said yes to drinking ketones, these set me free from being a slave to all of the dieting that I had to do. So now I got the chance to enjoy a slice of pizza when I wanted it, to enjoy a donut when I wanted it. And I actually was able to hit my stage weight through drinking ketones, but not having to do crazy dieting, which is just wild to me. That's crazy to me. So that's a little bit about my story and what these have done for me.
I love it. And it's so fun to watch journeys, right? And we'll talk about that later in the call, but what it means to impact the world and impact your local communities and around the world, which is a possibility with sharing this conversation. But going back to it, beta hydroxybutyrate, nerd moment, right? So our livers can make it through strict dieting. Like, that was Rebecca's goal. And that end part was to become a fat burning machine. So that way she was cut. And when she rubbed on all that self tanner, she just looked like, she looked like a washboard from head to toe, right? Like, that was the outcome that was necessary. for that. But what we know is that this is the same exact thing. It's bioidentical, which is nerd for your body doesn't know it didn't make it, right? And so you drink this and your body goes, hey, I know what that is. I'm going to use it for fuel. I'm going to use it to take oxygen to the brain 30% more efficiently than glucose. I'm going to use that to grab into those stored fat deposits that are all over my body and use that for fuel instead, right? These are like little motivational speakers inside of here that go and like say, hey, fat, we're going to use you and we're going to run. Your fat cells are like, okay, I'm used to sitting here. It's fine, but we're going to move. So let's go. And again, either through strict dieting or through intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting, that's where your body can make ketones. But I had no idea, so I just drank it. And I've tried a few different things along the way, and this is just the most simple thing to reach my personal health goals. Weight number aside, how my clothes fit, like that's my biggest measurement. And who's in their goal clothes yet or almost to their goal sizes, because that's what we like to talk about here. Alana's almost there. I saw the little like measurement. Drop that in the chat if you're at your first goal or your last goal or anywhere in between. I know I want to wear a certain type of jean, a certain cut of jean, and like that's my goal. Like screw the scale. That scale is evil. But drinking this works, right? And who can drink this? Ketosis is our native state. It's how we're born. If you were lucky enough to be breastfed as a baby, then you were in ketosis the entire time that you were feeding on mother's milk, because that's ketones and MCT fat being that you're consuming. And so that's all where our brain development is. But then at some point, somewhere, somehow, we start eating sweet potatoes and peas, and now our body's like, okay, fine, I'll just use glucose. It's fine. It's totally fine. But from womb to tomb, and like people that are, babies, like womb all the way, as long as there's air in your lungs or you have the capacity to breathe, you can drink ketones. I know there's been some really cool stories across the spectrum of what ketones can be. So I'm so excited for these. We're actually going to hear one more quick story from our dear Rebecca Sellers. I made you a co-host, so go ahead and hit unmute. Rebecca, like how did you get started? First of all, how did you get started? What have you noticed since starting? How long has it been? And then what's your favorite flavor?
So I started in November. I had been watching some of the keto Facebook groups and whatnot, and I watched this woman's journey. So then I popped on and I was like, okay, where can I get these around me? And I found this girl, Nikki, down in Manchester. We met literally in a parking lot. And she was so sweet and so kind to me. And that's how it began. She had so much information. She was so informative. The next day, after I had bought like maybe two, I had totally ordered myself this. This is the 10-day challenge. I drank probably a pack a day. That was in November. It is now April. I just hit my 50-pound mark. I haven't shared that with anybody yet, but I hit it. So I have a lot more to go, but I'm here, I'm there. Right now, my favorite flavor, I would have to say it's lime time.
We love lime time.
I do love lime time.
Margarita without the tequila, but you could always fix that, right? And then in addition to your favorite flavor, what's like your favorite support product that you have? Like what else do you like to drink along with your
Oh, I
ketones?
love the Mitoplex. Like that was a total game changer for me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, my body was holding all this fat. And then once I put that Mitoplex in, it was like, whoosh, it was awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for hopping off in here. And so what Rebecca was talking about, or I call her Sellers because she's part of our community. It's just because we have like 97 Beckys and Beccas and whatevers. And so I just call her Sellers. She's talking about our Mitoplex, which is often just considered if you love Mitoplex too, drop it in the chat. So I want to see that. If you love it, drop it number one or share what your favorite thing about it is. It's not just an electrolyte. Like this has creatine in it for muscle preservation. So that's another side effect of ketosis is your body doesn't break down your stored protein for fuel because it's targeting your stored fat instead. So then the addition of the creatine, of course, the complex electrolytes in here, magnesium, potassium, things that our body needs. Y'all, if you're in America, 3 out of 4 of us are chronically dehydrated. Look to your left, look to your right, look down, look up. Everybody around you, 3 of those 4 people are not consuming enough water and extremely dehydrated from a lack of minerals, because our food, like what used to be in our potato skins isn't in our potato skins anymore, but now the inside of the potato is going to kill us because, you know, diabetes. And so by adding in something like this, and also the Mito PQ2 or P2, did I say that right? Why can't I find on the box? Anyway, there's a mitochondrial repair ingredient in here as well. And if you know as well, PB2, that's peanut butter, Jamie, stop it. Like our mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cell, right? And just like the battery in your car, if your battery is dead, your car isn't going anywhere. And if we're made up of all of our cells, right, and those little batteries inside of the powerhouse of those cells are not being fueled, replenished, or taken care of, then what happens to our cells? They sit on the side of the road or in the driveway or end up on cinder blocks because somebody likes our tires more than we do. And so by being able to take care of that has been just amazing. And in addition to a vitamin D3, y'all, I was just up in New England for 10 days. And if you're not drinking 15 of these Mitoplexes a day, like you're just a sad sap. Like, because there's no sunshine, it snowed. Like if y'all are in, I live in Las Vegas where we have 333 days of sunshine. Let me tell you, I'm a sun baby through and through. Like I'm pale right now. So I don't know how some of y'all feel. But the addition of this vitamin D3, like I didn't even realize I didn't have the SADS, you know, the seasonal affect depression. I didn't have those things from the 3 days of cloudiness. And I was like, but I'm not taking, I even asked Becca for vitamin D. And I was like, wait a second, I'm already taking vitamin D like 3 times a day. So it's fine. Alana, that's okay. We'll get you a tanning bed for Christmas. It's fine. So the addition of this is totally phenomenal. I do want to, Kayla Parks, where you at? I know I made you a co-host. Like hop off. Like when did you start drinking? What have you noticed in your journey? And what's your favorite support product, not Mitoplex? Go.
Okay, so I would say I started drinking them 6 months ago, and my brain's like not working right now.
Go drink a ketone and come back. No.
I know, seriously, I had like 2 keto ups today. I'm like crazy. So I would say like 6 months ago, I watched my friend, and I watch people, like I'm a people watcher. So I was watching her, seeing what was happening to her. And I was like, oh, sweet, I'm going to grab that. So I grabbed some and I was like, oh, awesome. I started drinking it within the first day. I was like, man, I need more. And then I started to, I got really excited. In the past 6 months now, I have lost about 40 pounds. And I am super, super, super present with my kids and my family and everything. And my favorite support product, I like Mitoplex, but like I really love just drinking the Protone. So that's my thing, even though that's not at 1, but that's like my thing.
Yeah, no, Protones are fantastic. I don't have any sitting right here in front of me, but Protones are one of our support products. It's ketones plus protein plus MCT powder. So you'll hear us use MCT or medium chain triglycerides, again, nerd moment, a lot, because that's straight fuel for the brain. Like coming from mother's milk, coming from heavy whipping cream, coming from coconut oil. We have a bottle of MCT, again, which is inside. I have a separate office building on my property that I live in, and so it's in there. But yeah, if you love the Protones, like Ashley Bradford just did, drop your favorite flavor of Protones down there, because there's some amazing flavors. Like Miss Liz has got them. That she has the dark chocolate and the orange dream. That one tastes like a dreamsicle. The banana cream that Ashley has, plus that dark chocolate together, tastes like a chocolate dipped banana. It is so delicious. And you ice it down and blend it up. It's like drinking a crazy smoothie, and it's so yummy. But MCT for the brain, protein for the body, and it's great for it's not made to be a meal replacement, but I know that I can mix one of those up and I feel satiated. I'm super satiated with it. Liz is nodding in agreement. Just like you just don't need much more after that. Like it's okay. Your body's happy. Your body's happy. Or post-workout, if you're a Becca and where you're like, I'm bored, I'm gonna go lift 400 pounds over my head 10 or 15 times, then it's a really great tool to have for muscle recovery and everything else that our body demands after using it. Shoot, if you walk for 20 minutes, you're like, sweet, I deserve a treat, then that's a really great thing to do. So we have a variety of support products to go along with ketones just to help you along with the journey. And they've just been phenomenal. And so when I got started on Here, Drink This. And my friend was actually stuck here in Vegas because there was a hurricane in Florida. And so she mixed one up every day. I drink one too. And then she's like, okay, now you need to pay me for these. I'm like, okay, I don't actually have the $80 to do that. And she's like, well, let's sell some stuff or borrow. So we did, because I knew that I had to have what I was experiencing every single day. And it shifted everything for me. So I sold some things. I borrowed $40 from my roommate and sold $35 or $40 worth of stuff online. And I was able to have my 10-day experience. And I took it on the road with me to drive to Houston, Texas to do some Hurricane Harvey relief. Again, this was 2017, right? And so the whole time I'm down there answering calls and I'm drinking my ketones every day. And in that process, that 10 days, I released 7 pounds, which was huge for me. I lost an inch around my neck. And I knew that I had to have more, and I was going to be willing to do what I had to do to not just drink them, but get them for free, because that became an option to me as well. Because if it's free, it's for me. That's what Becca likes to say. And I know that for sure. So Becca, why don't you come off of mute real fast and just share, like, how does the getting free ketones work? And like, let's step one for, I got to order something, right? That challenge kit that Rebecca showed, or Sellers showed, because now there's 2 Rebeccas and now I'm like over the place. That Sellers was showing, like, that's a great place to start because it's a variety. There it is. But Coachy, like, why don't you share with the class, like, getting free ketones, what does that mean? How does that work?
Oh, yes. I love that. If it's free, it's for me. That is totally my motto. As a single mom, I knew I wanted to drink them every day once I committed to it, but I knew that I couldn't pay for them. Cause like, I don't know, single moms, I think they're super women. So if you're a single mom on here, congrats, cheers to you. All moms really, but so I knew I wanted to drink them every single day, but didn't want to pay for them. And what I was told was, like, if you go out to a restaurant and you have really great service, a really great meal, you're going to go and you're going to tell friends about it. However, that restaurant isn't necessarily going to give you credits for meals because you're telling other people about this restaurant or this meal, right? So what's really cool about Pruvit is if you love these ketones when you drink them and how you feel, if you go out and you tell enough people about it, and when I say enough, I mean 2 people, 2 people. If you tell 2 people about this who also decide that they want to see where better mood, better energy, better focus, mental clarity, fat loss, better sleep, skin digestion, muscle preservation can show up in their life, and they decide to commit to drinking these daily also, then you get your monthly ketones for free, period. I mean, who knows 2 people that could benefit from one of those things that I said? Drop 1 in the comments, like I know, or drop 2 in the comments, because I know 2 people, right? So it's that simple. You go out and you simply just say, hey, OMG, like, I started drinking these things and I feel fantastic. I don't know much about it, but I would love for you to try it and drink them with me and see how you feel, right? And so I just started asking people to try them with me. And I mean, people love them, people drink them. And again, we talked about first dose experiences, right? People will drink 1 packet. A lot of people will have an experience right away. So that's literally how easy it is. Just share with 2 people and do it together. Like, go out and do it together, because it's a lot easier to do this thing with a support group. So go find 2 of your closest friends to start drinking ketones every single day. Who's drinking what flavor, make it fun, have fun with it.
Yeah, perfect. And so, and doing that journey either on your own to start with, or bringing in a couple people of your friends, your family, people that trust you. I started with my friend Janice and my mom. Those are my first 2 people that came with me. They're still with me here today, right? Like, my ketones are free just because they're still drinking their ketones, but their ketones are free because they've shared it now as well. And of course, we've reached more people and it made a bigger impact. But a pack a day, simple. 2 packs a day. I love it how Jody explained it a couple weeks ago. You know, drinking 1 pack a day is good. Drinking 2 packs a day, a caffeinated or a non-caffeinated in the afternoon, that's great. And just to make it have your best experience, adding in Mitoplex, getting a dose of healthy fats through a Protone or what we call our keto cream as well. It's going to help you throughout your journey, and you're going to feel your body shift. You're going to feel it also. That's how we get free ketones. That's how we drink it. You've heard some stories, but now each of you, you're one of 3 types of people like that's here right now. First and foremost, you're like, for all my nevers that were on here, I remember Caitlin, I remember Rayanne, I remember there was a couple other folks on there that never drank it. This is where you get to decide who you are. First and foremost, it's like, hey, I just want to grab that challenge kit that Rebecca showed, that Seller showed, Rebecca's. And I would encourage you to grab the Mitoplex as well, because ketones plus the complex electrolytes and all the goodies in here are going to equal, Black Label. I love me some Black Label, totally distracted. It's going to equal a really, really optimal experience for you. And that's a baseline starter. If you want to go all in, your friend that invited you here can say, hey, make me a cart, right? Because we have that option here. Like, make me a cart with these flavors and help me get it all together. Yay, Caitlin's 10-day challenge is on the way. Is anybody else's challenge kit on the way? Drop that in the chat. I know my smart ship is coming. I have all of my free tones are on their way right now, and I'm so excited. But this is at least where you want to start. A little bit more, a little bit better. We can help that. We can help you do that, but at least get started as a customer. And so that's the first type of person. The second type of person is someone that Rebecca just described, saying, hey, I know that my best friend in college or my partner or my whoever is going to want to do this with me, and we can do all of it together. If you have somebody that that knows you, likes you, and trusts you to say, hey, let's go, let's lock arms and let's do this challenge together, let's do it. And that way you only ever have to pay for your first order, and then help them get their ketones for free as well, because that's a possibility here as well. And the third type of person is, listen, something Becca just said there about telling everybody really stands out to me. And I think that I want to get my ketones for free, but I've also heard that there's a really cool rewards plan attached to sharing this conversation. And so if you're that third person, the type 3 person, I definitely want to encourage you to stay on. If you're type 1 and 2, type like the diabetics, like no. If you're person 1 or person 2, definitely message your friend at this time and say, hey, I want to do this. And then I encourage you too, just to stay on and hear what sharing this conversation, building a business really can be for you in this arena as well. So yeah, let me just go ahead and we're going to stop that.